I'm sure your marketing team points out how they're trying to troll you in the marketplace. Okay, I'm sure they're doing that. Can you bring this one clip? I know you were on, what do you call it? On, what was it? Bill Maher, and Bill Maher talked about the boots. I've seen you walk with these boots. Go ahead and play this clip. This on TikTok went viral. It doesn't have 1 million views. It doesn't have, 10 million views. This thing's got 1.2 million likes. And some people are wondering,
what are they? I don't even. I haven't seen that.
They've not shown this to you. Okay, no. What they're trying to say with this is that in your boots you have heels.
No.
That's what they're trying to say.
Those are just standard off the rack Lucchese.
How tall are you? How tall are you, Governor? How tall?
5'11".
5'11". Okay. Why don't you wear tennis shoes and dress shoes?
I do wear tennis shoes when I work out. Yeah, 100%.
You do.
Yep.
Okay. I got a gift for you. I'd love for you to wear. Okay. I shop at Ferragamo. Okay. And
I don't accept gifts. I can't accept it.
I totally get it.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. So I got to tell you, before I get into this video, right, it really pains me to have to make this video about Ron DeSantis because I believe the guy has been a great governor. Okay. I think that during the pandemic, he was a leader, not just when it comes to the pandemic policies, the anti-lockdown policies, the anti-mask policies, the pro-freedom policies. He also has been a leader in the culture war, right? He's been a leader against fighting back against the left. And I really like the guy. I think he's been a great governor, and I don't think that he will be a bad president. However, what we're saying from Ron DeSantis is him destroy his own political career because he's listening to consultants that he's paying millions and millions of dollars to tell him how to lose. Now, this is something that I've said basically from the beginning of DeSantis' campaign. I'm continuing to say it as he gets more and more desperate because Nikki Haley is steadily catching up with him, okay? Nikki Haley is now in third. Vivek Ramaswamy is in fourth, which in my opinion is an absolute tragedy that the primary voters in the Republican Party support Nikki Haley, who's the warmongering queen, over Vivek Ramaswamy. But again, Nikki Haley is gaining so much momentum that, again, she can overtake Trump. As you can see here, DeSantis, from the moment he announced, has just been a sinking ship, right? Slowly sinking. Nikki Haley will probably overtake him at some point, and then all of the establishment money will go behind her, which, again, is really a shame that she's getting this much support, because to me, she seems more interested in being the leader of Israel than the United States, okay? I haven't heard her talk about anything except Israel for the last 3 weeks, right? I mean, she's just obsessed with starting World War III, right? But hey, that's neither here nor there. But again, Ron DeSantis, as he's sinking, is becoming the butt of jokes, right? He's becoming an embarrassment, okay? He's actually ruining his political career in front of our eyes. People are now just roasting him for the hell of it. And one of the things they've been roasting him about lately is his choice of footwear, as it seems like the guy wears heels because he may be insecure about his height.
And this failure to gain any momentum has caused some problems for the candidate that some in the past have called short Trump. That attention is where all the attention on Ron DeSantis has been lately, not on his positions, but on the interesting boots he's been awkwardly strutting around in. The internet has become obsessed with these mystery boots and the theory they might contain lifts in the heel to make Ron look taller. Shoe experts have weighed in on the weirdly long Sideshow Bob-style toe box situation that maybe is because there aren't any toes in there. Maybe because the foot is back up on a stilt in the back, like stiletto high heels inside his manly man cowboy boots. It's all speculation, of course, not the type of thing anyone is seriously focused on. Add injury to insult, a new poll from NBC News and the Des Moines Register shows DeSantis now tied with a rising Nikki Haley.
Yeah, so this same network, MSNBC, that is roasting Tiny D, Ron DeSantis, right? That's the new nickname that people are giving him, Tiny D, which, again, I take no pleasure in laughing at. It's just that Ron DeSantis kind of signed up for this because he should not have ran. He should not have ran, okay? And that's probably the point of this video, is that Ron made a huge mistake. And I feel bad for the guy because he really doesn't deserve this, but damn, they calling the man Tiny D, bruh, saying that he is insecure about his height, which, hey, I don't know, right? But MSNBC is roasting him up. Liberal media is roasting him up. And the same liberal media outlet, MSNBC, is the same outlet that Ron DeSantis is groveling to, because again, he's desperate at this point. So now he's going on all the networks, doing all the interviews, even with the liberal media, because he really wants to get some momentum here. And he knows his campaign is flailing. He's groveling up to Joe Scarborough and MSNBC in this discussion in which he claims that Trump should not be the GOP nominee if he is convicted of the Democrat witch hunts against him, right? If Trump is actually convicted, then Ron DeSantis basically said, yeah, I don't think that he should be the GOP nominee. I don't think that people should vote for him if he's convicted. He cannot win the general election if he is convicted. Take a look.
You know, it's interesting. Joe Biden may have spent a lot of time in his basement, but he'd climb out of that basement to debate other Democrats and Republicans.
That's true.
And Trump won't even get out of wherever he's staying.
Well, and also, you look back, you know, Joe Biden did debate. You're right. That first debate against Biden, Biden beat Trump. I mean, I had a bunch of people. We were excited for it. And we were stunned at the end of that debate about how bad it was, and it did hurt his numbers, and I think had an impact on the election. So he needs to prove to Republicans that he's going to be somebody that's going to be able to be up there and get the job done. But you're right. When he's off the teleprompter now, you do see things where he's saying things about not voting, where he's saying things about, you know, there was no way he was going to have Mexico pay for the wall. A lot of these different things. I think you got to go up there. You got to be able to speak from the heart when we're out there campaigning. I'm not using a teleprompter. I'm just out there speaking and telling people what I believe.
So what is your assessment now as we look at real clear averages that have you down 46 points to Donald Trump? You've been much closer at the beginning. What's your assessment of the way this campaign has gone over the last 6 months?
Well, look, Willie, when we got into the race, we were bracing for these indictments. I think it's helped them. I think it's sucked out the oxygen, and we knew it was going to be a brutal summer. I was not somebody that thought nationally we were going to see major movement in those national polls. It's a state-by-state process. So we've worked really hard to lay the groundwork in all the early states. You know, that's not necessarily something that shows up in a poll, but I think if you look at what we've done, we've built a foundation. Now we're in a position where we're in the home stretch. Most people still haven't made up their mind in Iowa and New Hampshire.
There are people, Governor, who say as they look at that Iowa poll we just had up there where you're still down 27 points that perhaps your theory of the case is to just hang in there, hang around, because if some of these indictments turn into convictions for Donald Trump, finally Republicans will abandon him. Is that a fair assessment?
Not really. I mean, I think so far all those cases have actually helped him because I think it has rallied support because I think people are sympathetic. But I think what you see, and I think Joe's right, in Iowa, he's got some hard support, but a lot of those people are looking at other candidates, and so their default is Trump. He's the most famous person in politics. We understand that. But when we get in there and show that we're a viable alternative, someone that will fight for them, but also fight smartly so we can win again as Republicans, and not just the election, but actually deliver on our promises and then lead with a positive vision to bring about a great America comeback. If we do that, we're going to be in good shape and we're going to be able to do it. But people are not locked in. I mean, that is very true. And in Iowa, I don't think they're locking in. New Hampshire, they're not locking in. So we're doing it. I'm not hoping for any type of special intervention. We're going to go win it by convincing a plurality of the voters that we're the best choice.
And you did say, Governor, at that August debate when the question was put to the entire panel, if Donald Trump is convicted, will you still, and he is the nominee, would you still support him? And you raised your hand. You're a lawyer. You've served in the Navy. You were well trained at the greatest schools. Do you really believe that a man who's convicted of, say, attempting to overturn the 2020 election or taking nuclear secrets back to his beach club, do you actually still, as we sit here today, believe that person should be president?
So I signed a pledge, Willie, and that pledge is what it is. Now, do I think somebody under those circumstances could get elected president? The answer is no. That will not happen. I think that Republican voters will understand that as we get closer to voting. But it would be fatal in a general election. And I don't think the party should nominate in that situation. However, you know, I signed the pledge. I'm a Republican. I don't think it's going to come to that, and I think we'll get the job done like we need to. But the reality is I signed it, and that's what I did.
So you stand by that this morning?
Yeah, when I signed the pledge, I knew you never know what's going to happen. It's a crazy process. People make different decisions, and I think my point of view on it was, I'm participating in this process. I've got the plan to win. We're going to win. At the same time, it's like you can't just take your ball and go home. You can't, on the one side of your mouth, say the country's in decline, Biden's failing, and on the other hand, say, I'm just going to pout if things don't go my way. So that was kind of my rationale for doing it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my response to Ron DeSantis would be, well, on one hand, you can't say that the indictments have helped Trump, and that's the reason why your campaign is flailing, is because of the political witch hunt against Trump, which you're acknowledging that the witch hunt against Trump has helped Trump. This is what you're acknowledging. And then out of the same side of your mouth, say, well, I don't think Trump is electable if he gets convicted, right? If he gets convicted, Republican voters should not make him the nominee. He should not be the nominee. I don't think that Trump will be the nominee if he is convicted. It doesn't make sense, right? Because I'm not sure how getting indicted helps Trump, but Trump getting convicted somehow hurts him and disqualifies him from being president if you believe that the indictments against Trump are a political witch hunt, which Ron DeSantis obviously doesn't believe, right? He doesn't believe that, okay? I think he actually believes that this is legitimate, and he's basically telling you that by saying, well, even though I signed the pledge to support Trump, I really don't want to support him, right? That's basically what he's saying, okay? He's basically saying, I don't think he should be the candidate, but I signed the pledge, so I guess I got to go along with his pledge that I signed, because if I didn't sign the pledge, then the RNC wouldn't allow me to run, and, I wouldn't have the support that I need from the RNC, so I had to go along with it, even though I don't think that he should actually really be the candidate if he's convicted. So what does your pledge mean? Right? What does your pledge mean? So your pledge doesn't mean anything, right? Your words don't mean anything. You're just doing it because you got to do it to be in the race. It doesn't actually mean anything, right? Again, here's the thing about this interview, right? Some people will say, well, Trump attacks DeSantis, so why can't DeSantis attack Trump? I'm not saying that DeSantis shouldn't attack Trump. I'm just saying, from a political perspective, it's not smart what he's doing. He's not campaigning in a way, in my opinion, that is smart. First and foremost, if he was smart, he would have took the Gavin Newsom route and decided to just sit it out, right? Which, we don't know if Gavin Newsom's actually really going to sit it out. Who knows? This guy could end up running, but he should have sat it out. But if you're going to get in the race, the one thing you can't do, right, regardless of how much Trump attacks you, is to attack Trump, because it just doesn't work, right? And the reason why it doesn't work is because Trump has been attacked literally the day he declared he was running for president. He has been attacked like no other, right? So Trump now has this effect, and I'm talking about politics here. I'm not talking about what's fair, what's not fair, how you feel, how you're not supposed to feel. I'm talking about just politically speaking, straight political strategy here. Trump has this effect that when you attack him, it actually hurts you, right? That's the crazy part, right, about the whole Trump effect. And Ron DeSantis decides that, hey, I'm just going to continue to attack Trump. I'm actually going to go on MSNBC, right? After not going on MSNBC at all, when he should have been going on MSNBC to defend his policies in the state, when this same network was smearing him as a fascist, racist bigot, okay, for banning porn in schools, okay, and for banning critical race theory, for all of the things that he was doing in Florida that I think were good things. He won't go on the liberal media to defend that, right, to push back against the narrative, but he'll go on MSNBC to talk trash about Trump. Again, it's like his political campaign is making mistake after mistake after mistake, when he should have been on liberal media defending himself as governor, okay, and his policies, because again, that was basically used to smear the party as a whole. He wasn't doing that. He was hiding in his basement in Florida, right? But now that he's desperate because his poll numbers are going down and Nikki Haley is about to overtake him, now he's going on liberal media to talk trash with Joe Scarborough about Trump. Fascinating stuff. When again, this network, MSNBC, is probably one of the reasons why Ron DeSantis is polling so poorly against Biden versus Trump in the general election. Because Ron DeSantis has repeatedly made this argument. He actually went on CNN and made this argument that he should be the Republican nominee because he has a better chance of beating Biden than Trump. He doesn't think that Trump can beat Biden. However, there are literally no polls, right? We ain't gonna say there's no polls, but a vast majority of the polls indicate that DeSantis is actually much more likely to lose to Biden than Trump. And part of the reason why is because the liberal media has more effectively smeared Ron DeSantis than Trump, right? That's part of the reason why. The same liberal media outlet that is the reason why he polls poorly against Biden in the general election against Trump is the same liberal media outlet that now he's going on to kiki and ha-ha and to talk junk about Trump. Which again, look, I understand why he personally wants to badmouth Trump. I get it. I'm not even saying I blame him for it. To me, it's just bad political strategy, right? This is just a reflection of how bad his campaign has been. Again, I'm not saying this with any joy because in my perfect world, right, DeSantis would have sat out this election cycle and ran in 2028, continued to dominate as governor and not went up against Trump, would have said, hey, you know, I'm next in line. You know, I'm the person to take the MAGA movement to the next level. I should be the guy in 2028, okay? Which would have happened whether or not Trump wins or whether or not Biden wins, right? I mean, regardless, he would have been up in 2028, him versus Gavin Newsom. In my opinion, that's what he should have did. But he decided to get in a race, and now he's running probably one of the worst political campaigns that we've ever seen. Again, even guys that are friendly towards him, like Patrick Bet-David, who I have a lot of respect for, by the way, he's even low-key roasting Ron DeSantis, right? Now, again, that whole conversation was very cordial. It was nice. It was very friendly, right? But it's at the point now that people that are even friendly to Ron DeSantis are now roasting him because that's how much of a joke his campaign has been. And everybody knows it, right? And one of the reasons why is because he continues to make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, especially when it comes to talking about these political witch hunts against Trump. Okay? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, what these people are relying on is Trump being pulled out of the race, right? They all, in the back of their mind, they're hoping and praying that somehow, some way, Trump is disqualified, that he's not the nominee, and that they can take his place. This is what they're hoping for, right? But unfortunately for Ron DeSantis, he's basically destroying all the goodwill that he had with the MAGA base to the point where, again, if Trump was taken out of the race, it's not even clear that he would be the guy, right? It's not clear. I mean, who knows? Maybe some of those voters will go to Vivek. Maybe those voters will go to Nikki Haley, which, I mean, God forbid. That's the one Republican I probably would never vote for, right? Nikki Haley. I mean, anyways, that's another video for another day. Again, there's no guarantee that he's the next guy up in line because he has damaged his reputation with the MAGA base so much. Because he is taking the advice of his political consultants that are getting paid millions of dollars to tell him how to lose and continuing to attack Trump when attacking Trump as a political strategy has shown over and over and over again, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And in fact, it actually hurts, especially in a Republican primary, right? So again, this is a mask off moment for Ron DeSantis. At this point, I think if he wants to save his political career, he should strongly consider dropping out, right, and endorsing Trump, okay, and just continuing to, you know, do a good job being the governor of Florida, fix some of the problems in this state, like, for example, how insurance is out of control, right? Maybe he should, you know, take care of his state more, continue to make his state great, right, or greater, and run in 2028, right? I think that's what Ron DeSantis should do because the path that he's currently going on, he's going to end up destroying his political career. And I don't want to see that happen to him because I think he's been an effective governor. I think that he can be a good leader. I just think that he needs to really work on some things and run it back in 2028. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.